if you're like me, you've had those mornings you wake up, you don't remember what happened. You're dehydrated. You feel like shit. Maybe you're throwing up. You're puking up bile. I mean, I've had those days. Peace and blessings. Here we go. Today's topic is something that is going to hit close to home for a lot of people, and it might be a little bit difficult to actually stay tuned in and listen to this video all the way through, because what we're talking about today is the effects and our connection to our relationship with alcohol. Alcohol is so steeped in our culture, it blows my mind. Because if you're in the mix of conventional culture, you can't see what's happening. But if for some reason, some circumstances arise in your life, something happens to you in the story of your life, where you have to take a step back and assess the situation. If you have just a moment of clarity, if you just have a solitary moment to look at what's going on with our culture as a whole and how that permeates down from our communities into the family unit and to the individual, our relationship with alcohol and its acceptance as a normal, functional part of our society and our life, it is insanity. I know those are strong words, and it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult to be able to take that in and process it without your mind going absolutely bonkers. Because from the time we were born, our culture has told us that it is absolutely okay to get buzzed, to get drunk, to let loose, to have some social lubricant. All these things we say. But if we're honest with ourselves, if we have a moment of clarity and can be absolutely honest with ourselves and just look at the situation we're in objectively, we can see that, okay, maybe for a time, as we're growing as human beings, we can say, okay, well, yeah, I need some social lubricant. It's okay to get buzzed. It's okay to get drunk. I need a little liquid confidence to be able to talk to this woman or talk to this girl or talk to this guy. It's okay. We might be able to say that at a moment or a chapter of our life. But if our life from point A through point Z is affected by the influence of alcohol and we don't do anything to take a step back, then in my humble opinion and in my life experience, we are wasting precious time. Now let's take a step back here and look at this whole topic, this whole situation of alcohol and our relationship to it through the eyes of yoga, through the eyes of a yogi. I'm looking at this, and this has been a real big part of my experience. I've had a lot of ups and downs with addiction and with alcohol specifically. But if you're looking at this as a yogi, what we have to acknowledge, if we can see things clearly, is that the purpose of our life is to become liberated from the cycles of birth and death. The purpose of our life is to become liberated and free from cause and effect or karma. Now, if we're looking at life through the lens of yoga, every breath we take, every moment we have is an opportunity to let something go, to take some weight off our shoulders so that we can become lighter and have more levity and lift ourselves up into the spirit. Everything in this world, in the 3D material physical world, is a trap. This existence on planet Earth, or a planet like this, where human souls come to incarnate to live out their lives and have experiences and have the opportunity to burn out karma and lighten their load and lift themselves up to spirit. In an existence like this material physical matter, it is heavy. It is gross matter. And it's beautiful. This is the schoolyard. The things we taste with our mouth and our tongue, the foods. This is a one-of-a-kind experience that we all have volunteered to come here and indulge and become liberated from. We've come here to indulge ourselves, to become fascinated, and then at some point during the course of all of our incarnations, at some point we say, this is great, this tastes good, this sex, this sensuality, it feels good, these drugs, these stimulants, this alcohol, it feels good, it's fun, but at a certain point we have to say, I've had enough. And I feel like it's time to get some levity, to lighten the load, and to lift ourselves up into the spirit. And we do that by lightening the load, which means surrendering the things that our mind is clinging to. We surrender our desires because we have an intuition or an inkling that there is something more to reality than what this earth and this world has to offer. God bless this earth. This is our creation. There's nothing like this in the universe. It's awesome. It's fantastic. But this is so low on the rung of the hierarchy of our spiritual evolution. We have to climb that Jacob's ladder. We have to ascend. And in order to do that, we have to lighten the load. And so if we're looking at this through the eyes of a yogi, what we have here is an opportunity to let that shit go. I'm not speaking to everyone out there. I'm speaking to you. Are you ready to let that shit go? To become lighter. To let go of the things that are obstructing your view from a clear seeing of what your potential is, so that you can plot a course to realize that potential, to self-realize your potential, to become that which you already are, but there are some things blocking it. Are you ready to take those things out of the way so you can shake free and not have to come back here again? Because let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. This ride does not end until you want to get off. This roller coaster ride of a gross physical reality, living in this existence where we have an opportunity to just indulge in freedom. We have the choice to do whatever we want. And it's an irony because our freedom is what keeps us trapped. So again, this is not for everybody, but for the one who is seeking, for the one who is ready to elevate, to levitate, to move on, to transcend gross physical reality and the cycles of birth and death, to remove his or herself from the cycles of karma. For those who are tuned into this, then letting go and releasing our attachment to alcohol becomes a offering to God. It becomes an offering to spirit. It is a affirmation and acknowledgement that I see what's going on here, and I'm done with that. And no judgment here. You can indulge for as long as you want, but when you're done, and there's no looking back. And in fact, you can say you're done, but once you see what's going on, you could relapse, you can go back to drinking, you can go back to drugs, but it'll never be the same. Because you know that you're going to have to let it go at some point, whether it's this lifetime or the next lifetime or 100 lifetimes from now. At some point, you've got to let it go. Each one of us has got to get there through our own effort, and we get there in our own time. So have fun. do what you gotta do. Eat as much food and indulge in the drugs and the alcohol and the sex and the sensuality. Have fun, go for it. But when you're done with it, you're done with it. I mean, I work as a photographer. That's what I do. And I just got to tell you, it's crazy how much alcohol is permeated in our society. I mean, I shoot a lot of birthday parties and events, like for little babies, 1-year-old, 2-year-olds. And I go to these birthday parties for 1-year-olds, and at 99% of them, practically every single one I go to, there's always alcohol there for the parents. It's like, for the adults, why can't we show up for a child's first birthday? Why can't we show up for a bridal shower, a baby shower, for a wedding ceremony? Why can't we show up and be sober? I mean, why is it so accepted to get buzzed, to have a little fun and let loose and have some social? Why can't we be with each other, present, right here, right now? It's not normal for a spiritual seeker, for a yogi, to voluntarily put his or herself in that kind of situation. It is normal for a society, for a world, for a culture that is unbalanced, that is sick, that is looking outside of itself for affirmation, that is looking outside of itself for approval, that is looking outside of itself for something else out there to fix what hasn't been fixed inside of here. That's what alcohol is. Number one, it's a depressant. Why would you take something that is going to depress you? The thing is alcohol works because it feels good at first. It's fun. But I know if you're like me, you've had those mornings you wake up, you don't remember what happened. You're dry as the Sahara Desert in your mouth. You're dehydrated. You feel like shit. Maybe you're throwing up. You're puking up bile. I mean, I've had those days. I'm almost 46 years old. I've had a couple decades of those times. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't take a day back because I know what that is. I know what it is. And I know where I want to go, and I let that shit go. So if you're ready to let it go, I would encourage you, I would invite you to look into your meditation practice, because the meditation practice is what keeps what this truth is that's coming through right now. It keeps you in tune with it. It keeps you in tune with your higher self, with your soul, with spirit, with the fountainhead of unconditional love. It gives you the energy. It gives you the clarity to navigate your existence, to navigate this life with a clear and true purpose, which is the definition of yoga, which is to unify yourself with the divine. You know, a lot of people go to church on Sundays. A lot of people go to church on Wednesdays. A lot of people have, church fundraisers and bake sales and community events, and that feels good. A lot of people will go to church and sing songs and feel good. But how many people actually do the spiritual work? How many people actually listen to the words of Christ when he says, "Be in the world, but not of the world"? How many people understand when Christ tells us that the kingdom of God is within us? It's not out there. So everything that we can do to keep our attention and our awareness in here, oh my goodness, if you just got that, then this lifetime is going to really count for something, because you're going to take a step or a quantum leap towards your self-realization, towards your realization of your divinity. And so let us allow ourselves the space to get some clarity around this and our relationship with alcohol. And in that clarity, perhaps it's time to just let that shit go. I'm holding space for you to be able to do that. I'm holding space for you to let anything that's in your life that is blocking you from your potential. I'm going to leave it at that. And we'll end here today. I want to let you know that I am right here with you. May all beings everywhere find time right now to look inside of themselves and see what is not serving them and simply let it go. not look back. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. It's time to get some levity, some lightness in your life. May all beings everywhere find time every day for yoga meditation. Peace.